Jamaica Selectboard meeting for the 28th of November. First order of business is the call for any additions to the agenda. Do I hear any calls for additions to the agenda? Hearing none, we'll move on. We're going to table the minutes for the 14th. So they are not available right now, so we'll get to them next week. The next item is to approve the town sheets for the town office, Listers Highway, and transfer station. We will do that at the end of the session as usual, and we will sign the select board orders the same. Next item is item number 5, to review and discuss the new rules for the swap shop at the transfer station. And we have Judy produced this list. It's been published on our website.
Yep. And it's also in the post office, and it is also up at the transfer station. Basically, I have done my homework, and I went up and spent a good part of the afternoon with Scott at the Windhall Solid Waste area, transfer station.
Scott is the...
He's the supervisor.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And so we talked about what is good, what's not good, and what he avoids and different things. So on the items, the ones I have in dark print talks about how it's open to the residents of Jamaica. So it's not really open to anyone. It's just our card holder people. The hours of operation coincide with the transfer station hours. All items must first be approved by the attendant or staff before being placed in the building. And the reason for that is if we get electronics of any sort, and I'll go through that, they really need to work. Everything needs to be, as you can see, the next one is all items must be in good and workable condition. So the attendant is the one who makes the decision, or if I happen to be up there or whatever. And then the last one is that there is no charge for any item. So those are really the basic rules.
Can I ask a question? When under the all items supposed to be in good workable condition, the thing that jumped out at me when I saw it the first time is, can we kind of insist that it be clean as well?
Yes, one of the things that we are not taking is clothing, as you see.
Sure, I'm just thinking.
And that's one of, oh yes.
That is.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I didn't, that's why I thought good condition would cover that whole area. So the items that are acceptable are lamps, and one of the reasons why it may be a smaller list than what people had hoped is that I would like to feel out how much space we have, what kind of things we're going to be getting, etc. So that, and then add things as we go along. So with that in mind, lamps, pots and pans, dishes, glassware, kitchen utensils, silverware, knickknacks, picture frames. Actually, we already have a picture frame up there. It's humongous. And some toys. We're not accepting infant toys. And the reason being is that there's a lot of liability connected with that. And that's why it's important. So some toys, books, and there are books already up there. As a matter of fact, my husband took a book yesterday.
This is hardcover and software?
Yeah, hard and soft. Not magazines though, and that will be on the lower list. Small, unupholstered chairs. One of the things that I'm concerned about by not taking upholstery is that if it sits there for a while, it can really get musty, etc. So that it became important that there are chairs, and actually someone has already taken a chair that was put in, a small chair. Small tables again. Again, the issue is the amount of space that we have. Small working appliances, that would be kitchen stuff, basically some other things that might fit in that category. yard and garden tools. Tools in general. I looked the other day, I think there was a whole bunch of bolts and things like that that were up there already. Games, some sports equipment. So we can't take humongous things, but and it has to be the decision of the attendant whether that will fit in and whether it's in good working order again. And holiday decorations, I thought, with Christmas coming, etc. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be taking up probably tomorrow one of those whirly things that go by candlelights. I had 2 of them from Germany, and I don't need 2. So those are the articles that we will be accepting, and we most likely will improve this list and by adding. Now, items not accepted, and that would be chip or broken dishes or glassware, large pieces of furniture, mattresses or bedwear, clothing articles, particularly no baby clothing, and Scott had talked about that with me, and no linens, no magazines, TVs and computers and peripherals. We may start doing that, but I think we need to get the feel of what is really going and not going. Basically because that becomes more complicated when we start taking TVs and computer, because now we have to balance out what is going with our collector who comes and gets our recyclable TVs and computers, and we have to put it in another pile, and it's another report and that kind of thing. Right now it's a little bit too complicated for everyone, maybe me particularly. So that's the listing, and things are there already. I don't know if you've stuck your head in yet, but they are, and I hope that it does well.
It's a good start. Thank you, Julie.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work that you put into that.
Yeah, this looks like a pretty good list.
Yeah,
and it seems pretty easy to read and figure out to figure out what they should bring and what they shouldn't bring.
Because my printer's been down and I haven't been to the office here, I was going to have the attendant, Dan, pass those out so people up there can get them.
I can leave one of these. I can leave my clean one for Pam.
Okay.
And I'll leave a little note and ask them to get them in.
That would be great. And then let me know and I'll carry them up there. Okay. And then Dan can start passing them out.
We have a new dump master?
Yes, we do. His name is Dan Miller.
Dan?
D-A-N. Yeah, Daniel. And he's started his first week and then went hunting. So he's back again. Meanwhile, actually it worked well because it gave our person who comes in to help out when the main guy is sub a chance to feel it out and what is all going on. So it actually worked out pretty well. They're both really good guys, and his name is Jim Haggerty. Am I saying that right? That's right. Yeah. So, and he's a good guy too. So, with that in mind, it's been kind of complicated because I've not only had this going, but also been training them at the same time. And I'm very pleased. There's some glitches we ran into today a little bit with the collecting of the electronic recyclables. So, but you know, we'll get through it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Very good. Excellent. Thank you very much. Any questions? Any other questions or comments?
No.
No. And this is posted on our website.
Yes.
Anybody who wants to look it up. You had a question?
Just a comment. Well, thank you, Judy. But when we hired Dan Miller, we knew he was going to take a week off to go hunting.
Yes, we did. I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
He was very clear.
Yeah, and that was great. So.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much.
Okay.
Good.
Thanks.
And now we've got that moving, which is excellent. Let's see. Number 6 on the list is the need to repair the town office roof. There's been some leaking that's been going on the town office roof for as long as I've been up there, so at least since Irene. And it seems to be getting worse over time.
Is that a new building?
Ours up here.
Yeah.
The old part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
This is the old part is
The old
leaking.
part.
It's the old
Yeah, the
part.
second floor.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And we started looking at the slate roof and not knowing anything about slate, we called a guy who does know about slate, and he gave a look at it. His position was that it's going to be expensive to replace it. It may not, I mean, it'll last forever, but it may not be economical for us. Depends on how we want to do that. I put in requests to 4 different agencies, 4 different outfits, to get, actually 5, including the first guy, to get some ideas what it's going to cost. And I've had a couple of calls, 2 of whom, one doesn't want to do it, another one doesn't want to do it till spring, and another one's coming in tomorrow morning to take a look at it. And we've got a bid from the gentleman who came to look at the slate, who's referred to us as an expert in slateness. So we'll know better by the time we have the next meeting, maybe even sooner, about what we want to do, but we all need to start thinking about that.
You know who's going through the same thing as the church?
I know.
Jamaica Church. I don't know if you've gotten the letter or not, but just doing, well, I could be wrong, I know they got a bid of $60,000.
I know.
Slate.
Let's
Yeah,
replace the slate.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they're also working on an alternative to.
Well, our slate, if we wanted to go back to slate, would be in the vicinity of 6,000 versus 60,000, but that's still a lot of money. And so we're going to be looking at asphalt shingles and getting the price.
Because the rest of the building is all asphalt.
So it matches
shingles.
this
Yeah.
side over here.
Yeah.
So we'll take a look at this, we'll try to get some estimates, and I should have them gathered to be able to share with everybody before next
Great.
meeting. But again, that's in progress, we have to start thinking about it because it's getting to show, even I can't ignore it, I really been ignoring these kinds of things. Number 7, we are going to be reviewing the report from the legal review and discuss participation in the Wyndham Solid Waste District Solar Project. We have not gotten a response yet, back yet from the lawyers.
Luke Holland said they did not, he couldn't be here tonight.
Yeah, Luke can't be here tonight, but he had hoped to be able to call in with the report, and we didn't hear from the lawyers yet, and Lou's not here, so we're going to table that till next time. That's okay with you guys?
I do have a question, not about the legal review of putting in solar. You know, next week there is the meeting for the new budget. And we haven't really discussed that. Lou has the right to vote as he feels, but usually the select board has some input for him to hear what we
Right, that's
think
why
about
he's
it.
gonna bring that back to us.
Yeah. You're talking about our budget or the budget for the Wyndham Regional?
No, the budget for the Wyndham Solid Waste, the
Wyndham
whole,
Solid Waste.
the whole.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's
Not
why,
the solar, that's a whole.
Just the regular budget.
Yeah.
I know, we got some paperwork, there's some in the box about that.
and Lou was that, and then
Yeah.
we just, he brings it to the full board, and then we
Right.
give him our.
That's for
Right,
next year.
but that's coming up. I don't think, do we meet before that for him to know? That's my concern. I think that vote is like the 9th, Thursday the 9th.
That's a good question. This is the,
Yeah, I know I got
So
an
Friday's
email
the
about it.
yeah, we had Wyndham Solid Waste Management District. Let's see if it tells us when. Final vote on the board to session on the board meeting on December 8th at 7 p.m. Our next meeting will be
On the 12th.
the 12th. Nope.
Yeah.
7 p.m. Well, what we can do when we get back from Blue, I mean, he's still waiting to hear from the lawyers, so we can't give him much guidance
That's-
after.
No, that's the whole different, That's the
Oh,
deal.
you're talking about just the budget itself?
yes, the budget itself, whether or not we're going into recyclables again for another year.
I think he said we were. I think
No,
we
that-
were.
No,
yeah.
it has not been a full vote yet, I think.
Well, they're talking about based on decision to maintain their trucking operation as well. dual stream materials recovery, the MRF.
Yeah.
Board of Supervisors voted to continue trucking and MRF operations using
For
the
one
existing
more year.
operations.
1 year.
For 1 year, right.
Yeah. Doesn't say that, but take your word. There were 24 total weighted voters, the proposed budget passed 60 to 8. So that was
already taken care of.
that part.
I thought that
No,
was the vote.
we're good for one more year.
Okay,
Yeah.
I thought that it was coming, what is the vote then on the 8th? Is it about the solar system?
No, well, it says this on the 8th. The final vote on the budget and
Yeah.
assessment model will take place at a regular board meeting on the 8th. So I think this is the.
For the
Oh, there you go. As you read it, I hear something different.
Yes,
They're saying the public discussions on the 8th, not
okay.
necessarily the vote.
If you, on the budget, an assessment model will take place at our regular board meeting on December the 8th. Now here it says the formula has been scheduled for Tuesday. A public hearing proposed budget
Oh, for
and
the
new
6th.
assessment
Okay.
formula has been scheduled for Tuesday, December the 6th. So the final vote has not really taken place.
So they're
And
still discussing. it.
yeah, so are we going to be able to talk with
Well, I
Lou?
think Lou discussed it last week, because I
Yeah.
have bits and pieces of it here, and I believe, I could be wrong, that we agreed that to go with, that we told him that we would agree to what they were.
He's not, what he told me is he's not voting for that.
He's not voting to go with,
Right. He has that right to do that,
sure.
but but that was one of the issues that's happening in Brattleboro, where their representative voted for a different plan than what they wanted. So, I don't know.
Well, Lou
That's
will be,
why I'm bringing this up.
right,
Yeah.
Lou will be back on, let's see, I think tomorrow. I think he'll be back tomorrow,
Okay.
so we can talk to him.
Yeah.
We can give him a call tomorrow.
Yeah, let's talk to him and see what exactly is going on and how best to manage that. We have to meet together.
And maybe
Yeah,
we
we
just,
may have to
maybe you
meet.
could just refresh our memories,
Yeah.
just refresh your memory.
Yeah, because obviously what I read is what is happening, then the final vote of the budget will be the 8th,
Gotcha.
so.
Yeah, okay, so that's a good point. So when he comes
Okay.
back. Looking to see what we have in the minutes.
Okay, I didn't know, we just wait for Lou to come back, he'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah, he reported at the budget meeting, they would vote to continue with its existing operations with a 20% surcharge to transfer station. Vote was 15 in favor, 8 opposed. There will be a public hearing on the 6th. Another vote on the 8th. Lou also mentioned that by next July, we'll need to collect compost
Right.
at the transfer station, so the town needs to start planning. So he didn't exactly speak to what his vote was.
Right.
But he said it was, this 20% surcharge was a more fair way of.
Yeah,
Right.
they're just charging those of us who've got a hauling fee, rather than people that are sitting right close by.
Right.
I understand it. So we should, when he comes back tomorrow, we'll get a chance to
Yeah,
talk.
I think it's important to ask how he is going to vote,
Sure.
because what I heard, what he told me was contrary to what some of you have heard.
All right, so we should
So,
check.
we'll figure out what's going on.
His vote is representing our town or him
No,
on that board, on the
he's a
board.
representative,
Right,
And
and
he's
also,
also-
he's the chair of the board.
right. So I don't know, I would assume his vote would be for the town. You'd have to ask him that question.
Well, the other question is he the chair? Does he vote?
Yeah, I don't know, I'll have to ask him that question.
He explained it all to us, what,
I think-
why he was, what his view was on it. how
We
he
could
was
be here till
involved.
midnight, we don't have the answers, so.
I
we'll
didn't
just
write
wait for
everything
him.
down.
Yeah, the reason why he can vote however he wants, it's like our House of Representatives in Washington. You know, they represent us, but at the same time, if they feel that it's not the right thing, then they can vote contrary to
Vote
what.
their conscience.
Yes.
All right, so tomorrow we'll check on his conscience. Or consciousness, whichever it happens.
Probably both.
A little bit of both.
We're on number 8.
We're on number 8, which is time for public concerns. We have a public. Do you have a concern? We have none concerned public?
I'm happy. I have no concern.
Please get that on film.
You want to pan that camera?
That he's happy. I want the happy part.
I had a very good Thanksgiving. Thank you very much. And I hope everybody else did as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. As you can tell, we have a substitute scribe tonight, but nobody is ill or absent. They're just absent. It is 25 minutes after 7.
I make a motion we adjourn.
That was fast.
Do I have a second?
Do we have a second?
Second.
I have a second. Any further discussion?
You're 10 minutes late.
I am.
I projected a 15-minute meeting.
So you're not as happy as you said you were after all. All
Now,
in
poor
favor?
Eleanor's gonna have to put up with him tonight.
All in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
This isn't our
We are
short.
adjourned.